HOK, along with the White Group, decided to take on the challenge of carbon emissions as it relates to the built environment.
We realize that we influence a large chunk of the built environment every year, and we have a responsibility to reduce the impact of that chunk. One way we can do that is through our zero emissions building.
It's very different from a net zero energy building. Emissions is really what it's all about when it comes to global warming. There's been a lot of demonstration projects of very small buildings that are relatively easy to make viable as net zero, either energy or carbon. And there have been some very grandiose projects, say in the Middle East, where there's a lot of money to be put at something.
We try to focus on a middle-of-the-road, very typical project in this country and other countries, which would be a 200,000 square foot office complex.
The design goals for the project were really, first and foremost, to try and make a market rate net zero carbon building with off-the-shelf technology, and do that for a payback period of 10 years or less. Pretty ambitious goal.
It was a virtual process, so people from HOK in architecture, engineering, art planning, and landscape groups. The White Group brought phenomenal energy modeling and carbon analysis tools, and we also had contractors, outside cost estimators, so they would bring a real-life market costing to the table, and most importantly, we had a developer who was part of our team, and that developer provided a sense of what would really work in the market. The challenge we faced was how to make this project as energy efficient as possible, because the key to a carbon neutral, affordable design is to minimize the amount of renewable energy requirements and maximize the amount of energy efficiency.
We kind of reversed the way we might normally work, in that we didn't come up with hardline drawing solutions. We allowed the analysis to be done first. That would inform design, and the architecture would be developed out of that analysis. So it was designing under the mantra that form follows performance.
Everybody sketched up their ideas, we put them out on the table, and we said, now let's just put them aside for a second and see what things work in terms of low energy and in terms of energy generation. Then we'll come back to your design ideas and see how closely they fit the physical parameters.
One of the exciting parts about our design process is that we did this as virtually as possible using HOK's advanced collaboration rooms, which was both video and visual ways to work together across many offices from Toronto, Chicago, St. Louis, and San Francisco, and only had 2 live sessions of this large, diverse team. So we tried to make not just a carbon neutral building, but a carbon neutral process. The design solution is for a 4-story office building made up of 2 long bars oriented north-south, about 300 feet long, separated with 60-foot lengths, creating an interior courtyard that would be for tenant use, and very long and naturally lit office spaces. The solution includes 15,000 square feet of solar thermal on the building facade and about 50,000 square feet of photovoltaic on the roof, part of the facade, and on the garage.
If you're going to invent a wheel, it's going to be round. If you're going to invent a low-energy building, it's going to have a narrow footprint, and it's going to be elongated east-west, because lighting energy is actually the most carbon-intensive energy part of the building. Because we wanted to generate both solar hot water and photovoltaics, we had to tip the roofs slightly to the south in order to optimize that. And so it really is a building that was shaped fundamentally by the forces of nature, and that's just the starting point. After that, there is all the stuff that makes it architecture in the sense of an attractive place to be, and then HOK really excelled at that.
The good news is we were able to design a carbon neutral building that would have a 12-year payback in the St. Louis area, but less than 10-year payback in many parts of the country based on their energy use rate.
We learned in the process that a zero-emission building can be surprisingly affordable. We worked with detailed energy models. We worked with cost estimates to determine that the 200,000 square foot office building, just through good passive design and efficient system selection, can save up to 76% of its energy. without a large premium cost.
We paid very close attention to detailing the process steps we went through to get there. The building itself is replicable, but more importantly, the process is replicable. It will result not always in exactly the same solution, but it can be. But a similar solution can be found for any building type and any location.
Well, I don't think we're saying that this is the one and only solution. We think this is the evolution of design moving forward.